You know, in 2023, a survey showed that almost 76% of dog owners let their pups crawl under the covers at night. Maybe you're one of them, maybe not. But here's the real shocker. Your dog isn't just looking for a soft pillow or a warm blanket. Every single place they choose to sleep by your feet, on your chest, even on your pillow, has a hidden meaning. And sometimes, when they suddenly stop sleeping next to you, it could mean more than you realize. So why does your dog really want to curl up beside you? And what does their favorite sleep spot reveal about the bond you share? Stay with me, because in this video, we'll uncover 10 powerful reasons dogs insist on being close at night. And then, we'll break down the 7 different sleep positions and what each one says about your connection. And I'll tell you, the last one, might change the way you look at your dog forever. And let's start with the very first reason, one that you may not even realize you've been training your dog to do all along. Reason 1, rewarded behavior. Here's something you might not realize. The very first reason your dog keeps climbing into bed with you is because you taught them to. Maybe not on purpose, but think about it. The first few times they hopped up beside you, you probably smiled, scratched their ears, maybe whispered a kind word. To a dog, that's the ultimate jackpot. Dogs don't need money or medals. They live for praise, touch, and approval. And when those rewards happen every single time they curl up next to you, their brain learns one thing: this is where I belong. In fact, every pat, every cuddle before sleep is like stamping a permanent ticket for your dog to join you night after night. And the funny part is, they don't even see it as mischief. In their world, they're just following the rules you set. But routine runs even deeper than rewards, and that brings us to the second reason. Reason 2, routine and stability. Dogs don't wear watches, but they know time better than we do. If you've ever had a retired truck driver's dog or a military working dog, you'll know exactly what I mean. They remember exactly when you wake up, when you eat, when you reach for your shoes. Bedtime. That's no different. If they started sleeping with you as a puppy by now, it's not just a habit, it's their ritual. Dogs cling to routine because it gives them something we all crave: stability, in a world that doesn't always make sense. For you, it's just sliding under the covers. For them, it's the final piece of a puzzle that says, the world is safe, my person is here, it's time to rest. And if that sounds simple, remember this: to a creature that sees you as their whole world, routine is the anchor that holds their night together. Still, it's not just about habits or bedtime rituals. There's something far more powerful pulling them to your side. Reason 3, comfort in your scent. To you, your dog may just look like they're curling up against your back, but inside their head, their nose is working overtime. Your scent is their home. It's the signal that says, relax, you're safe. Scientists have shown that a dog's sense of smell is tens of thousands of times stronger than ours, and that scent carries your story, where you've been, how you feel, even whether you're sick. That's why they steal your socks or rest their head on your pillow. But nothing beats the real thing. By pressing close, by breathing you in all night long, they fall asleep wrapped in a blanket only you can provide. For some older men who've lost a spouse, their dog's scent and warmth become the only steady heartbeat in the dark. To the dog, your smell is more than comfort. It's medicine for the soul. And just when you think this is all about cuddles and comfort, there's another layer waiting. Because sometimes the reason your dog lies down beside you isn't about routine at all. It's about protection. Reason 4, guardian instincts. Even the softest family dog carries the echo of a wolf deep inside. And at night, that instinct wakes up. When your dog curls at the edge of the bed or plants themselves across your legs, they aren't just looking for a warm spot. They're guarding you. To them, you are the pack leader, the one who fed them, fought for them, gave them a place in this strange human world. And just like a soldier standing watch in the dark, they know that sleep is when you are most vulnerable. A dog may look peaceful, but those ears never switch off completely. They're waiting for the faintest sound, the slightest threat, ready to snap awake if you so much as shift wrong. For a veteran, for a firefighter, for anyone who has ever known the weight of watching another's back, this should sound familiar. At night, your dog is that same silent guardian. But protection works both ways, and sometimes it isn't you they're protecting. Sometimes it's them. Reason 5, seeking protection, picture. This: a thunderstorm rattles the windows, or fireworks split the sky. To us, it's just weather, just noise. To your dog, it's chaos. And in chaos, they know one thing: the safest place is beside you. That's why they curl against your spine or wedge themselves into the curve of your chest. You are the constant, the fortress they trust when the world makes no sense. For a man living alone after a long marriage, that trust can feel like a lifeline, because in that moment, you're not the protector of a fragile animal. You're the anchor they've chosen, the only thing that makes the storm bearable. Dogs don't always sleep next to you because they're brave. Sometimes it's because they believe you are. But what if that closeness turns into something more? Something that feels less like love and more like desperation. Reason 6. Velcro dog syndrome. If you've ever felt a shadow that follows you from room to room, a set of paws tapping close behind you may have a Velcro dog. These are the dogs who cannot bear to be apart, who panic when the door closes, who whine if you step away. And at night, their need is even stronger. They stick to you not just for comfort, but because their very identity feels tangled with yours. Many Velcro dogs are rescues pulled from trauma or bred for constant contact: sheepdogs, lapdogs, service dogs. The bond is powerful, but it can come at a cost: anxiety when you're gone, stress when they're left behind. Yet even here, hidden inside that anxious cling, there's love. For the retired vet who wakes shaking at 3 in the morning, for the man who can't stand the silence of an empty room, that soft body pressed against your side may be the one thing that keeps you steady. And as powerful as that attachment is, sometimes the reason is simpler, almost funny, because your bed is simply better than theirs. Reason 7. Comfort of human beds. Let's be honest, you've probably tried giving your dog a bed of their own. Maybe it's memory foam, maybe it's tucked in a quiet corner, maybe it cost more than your first mattress. And yet every night, they climb onto yours. Why? Because nothing compares. Your bed is warmer, softer, higher off the floor. And best of all, it comes with you. For older dogs, especially those struggling with stiff joints or breathing problems, your pillow gives them relief an ordinary dog bed can't match. And for you, maybe recovering from a bad back or even chemotherapy sharing, that comfort feels like more than coincidence. It feels like two bodies healing together in the same space. But while comfort explains a lot, it isn't the whole story. Sometimes what pulls them under your covers runs even deeper, straight into their DNA. Reason 8. Pack instincts. Before dogs became our companions, they were wolves. And wolves never slept alone. They huddled in piles shoulder to shoulder to stay warm and alive through the night. Your dog carries that same instinct even if they've never seen the wild. To them, you are the pack, the heartbeat they trust. That's why they curl into you, why they press their back against yours, why they breathe in rhythm with your chest. For a man who's lost his family, for a veteran who misses the brotherhood of service, that closeness can feel like the return of something long gone. When your dog sleeps against you, it isn't just comfort. It's belonging. But packs also put someone on watch. And that leads to the next reason. Because sometimes your bed is more than a bed. It's a watchtower. Reason 9. Higher ground. The lookout post. From your perspective, a mattress is just a place to rest. From your dog's perspective, it's a high seat with a view. By climbing onto your bed, they gain a better angle of the room, the door, even the shadows. It's instinct. A higher perch means more safety, more control. And whether you're asleep or not, they see themselves as the guard on duty. To us, it might look funny, like they're staring at wallpaper or the ceiling fan. But to them, it's serious business. Even small dogs take this role. Perched by your side, they believe they're standing guard from an elevated post. And sometimes, what they're sensing isn't just movement in the room, it's something happening inside you. Reason 10. Detecting illness or change. This is where it gets truly extraordinary. Dogs have been trained to detect seizures before they happen to smell changes in blood sugar, even to alert cancer patients before diagnosis. But here's the thing. Many family dogs do it naturally. If your dog suddenly starts pressing closer, climbing onto your chest, or refusing to leave your bed, it might not be random. There are countless stories of dogs who changed their sleeping habits just before their owners discovered heart problems, kidney failure, or early cancer. For someone who's already lived through a heart attack or chemo, that sudden change in your dog's behavior can feel like a warning bell. And maybe it is. To your dog, lying beside you isn't only about love. Sometimes it's their way of saying, I know something's happening, and I'm not leaving your side. And that brings us to the part most owners never think about. Because once your dog is in the bed, the exact spot they choose to sleep can reveal secrets about your bond that words never could. Position 1. At your feet. The first position looks simple, but it carries more meaning than you think. When your dog curls up at the end of the bed right by your feet, it isn't just about finding space. It's strategy. From there, they can guard the doorway, be the first to sense danger, and still stay close enough to feel your presence. But there's another layer. Your feet carry pheromones, tiny chemical signals of your mood, and even your health. To your dog, the smell of your tired socks is like reading your diary. That's why they lick your toes, or press their nose against your soles. It's not weird to them. It's intimacy. And for you, it's reassurance. They want to be the last line of defense between you and the outside world. But not every dog chooses the foot of the bed. Some show their trust in a way that feels, at first glance, almost insulting. Position 2. Facing away, the butt towards you. You roll over and see your dog's back end pointed straight at your face. You might laugh, you might groan. But here's the truth. It's one of the deepest signs of trust they can give. A dog's rear carries its own scent, a chemical signature they usually share only with other dogs. By turning away, by offering you the most vulnerable part of themselves, they're saying, I trust you to protect me while I sleep. It's the canine version of showing your back on the battlefield. No armor, no defense, just faith. And when they choose that position, they're not rejecting you, they're bonding with you. But sometimes, dogs go even further. They don't just turn their back. They press it right into yours. Position 3, back to back. This one feels almost human. You roll on your side and there they are pressing their spine against yours. It's the canine handshake of the night. I'll watch behind you. You watch behind me. In a pack, this is survival strategy. Two wolves resting together, covering each other's blind spots. In a bedroom, it's love and partnership. For men who've spent their lives covering a partner's back, whether in service on the road or in marriage, this position can feel like a memory brought to life. Your dog trusts you to guard their heart, while they guard yours. And sometimes, that back-to-back turns into something even more tender. Position 4. Spooning. Anyone who has ever spooned knows the comfort of it. Your dog certainly does. When they curl against your chest or tuck into your belly, they're seeking both warmth and rhythm. Studies show that when dogs sleep close to their owners, their heartbeats often synchronize. That steady rhythm of your chest, your breath rising and falling, calms them in ways words never could. And for you, it can be the same. 2 lives, 2 heartbeats falling into step through the night. It's intimacy without a single word. But sometimes intimacy takes on an even bolder form when they climb higher, right up near your face. Position 5. Next to your head. It might not be the most comfortable spot for you, but when your dog stretches out on your pillow or presses against your head, it's a statement. This is the closest they can possibly be. They sacrifice space, comfort, even their view of the room, just to be beside your face. To a dog, it means they're placing their safety in your hands. You will be the one to notice danger. You will be the one to rise first if something happens. And for the owner, waking up to a cold nose in your hair or a face full of dog breath might feel funny, but it's also a privilege. Because not every dog chooses this level of trust. And some take trust even further by placing their whole body right on top of you. Position 6. On top of you. It's heavy, sometimes awkward, but it tells a story. By lying on top of your chest, your stomach, or even your legs, your dog ensures 2 things: you're not leaving without them. And they can feel your heartbeat directly. That constant thump-thump reassures them you're alive, steady, and close. In winter, it's also warmth, a living exchange of heat that creates a feedback loop. You warm them, they warm you. For some men recovering from illness, that pressure across the chest can feel grounding, like being held down in safety instead of fear. And yet some dogs don't stop at the surface. They dive deeper, straight under the covers. Position 7. Under the covers. This is the burrower's dream. Underneath your blankets, the world disappears. It's dark, it's warm, it smells like you. For dogs, it's the closest thing to a den, a safe cave where nothing can reach them. And there's more. The weight of the blanket pressing on their body mimics a calming technique called deep pressure therapy. That's why anxious dogs often push their way under your sheets. To them, it's comfort, safety, and intimacy all at once. And when you lift the blanket to let them in, you're not just giving them warmth. You're saying, "This is your home right here beside me." But what happens when they don't climb into bed at all? When the space beside you stays empty? That silence carries its own meaning, and it's not always what you fear. What if your dog doesn't sleep with you now? Here's the question that keeps a lot of owners awake at night. What if your dog doesn't climb into bed with you at all? Does it mean they don't love you? Does it mean something's wrong? The truth might surprise you. Sometimes a dog choosing not to sleep beside you is not rejection, it's confidence. When a dog stretches out on the cool floor, curls in their own bed, or even disappears into another room, it may simply mean they feel safe enough to rest without constant contact. Think of it this way: a child who needs to hold your hand to fall asleep still feels scared. A child who can drift off in the next room trusts that you're near. For dogs, it's the same. Of course, there are other reasons too. Your bed might feel too warm for them, especially in summer. Some dogs prefer to spread out without bumping into you. Others might have found a sweet spot where the air is cooler, the ground firmer, or the noise softer. And yes, sometimes age or health can play a part. An older dog with aching joints might simply find the leap onto your mattress too much. But none of these choices erase their bond with you. In fact, many experts believe that a dog sleeping apart is often the sign of a dog who trusts deeply, They know you'll be there in the morning. And yet that empty space beside you can still sting, especially if you've built your nights around the comfort of a warm body pressed against your side. That's why it matters to remember whether they're at your feet, under your covers, or in the next room, their loyalty hasn't gone anywhere. Love doesn't always look like closeness. Sometimes it looks like confidence. But here's the part you can't miss. Because once you understand why your dog chooses the bed or chooses the floor, you'll see their sleep not just as a habit, but as a hidden language. And when we close this video, I'll show you how that language writes a love letter only you were meant to read. So now you know your dog doesn't just crash on the bed for comfort. Every position, every choice is a message. Lying at your feet means they're standing guard. Pressing against your back means they're trusting you with their life. Curling on your pillow or burying under the covers means they want to be as close to your heartbeat as possible. And even when they don't climb up at all, that too can be love, because it means they're confident enough to sleep without fear. At the start of this video, I promised you one thing: that your dog's sleep spot is more than habit. And here it is, the truth. Every night in silence, your dog is writing you a love letter. Not with words, not with ink, but with their body, their breath, their trust. And if you've ever lost someone, if you've ever woken in the night to an empty bed, you know how much that letter means. Before we finish, let me leave you with this. Dogs don't measure time like we do. They don't count years. They don't keep calendars. But every night, they choose you. And in their language, that choice says, "You are my family. You are my safe place. You are my forever." And now, I want to hear from you. Where does your dog sleep at night? At your feet, on your chest, or maybe tucked under the covers? Share your story in the comments. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand your best friend just a little more, stay with us. Subscribe, because the next video might just reveal the 10 subtle ways you could be hurting your dog without even realizing. You won't want to miss it.